Oh, geez. All right, what is up, everyone? Tyler here. Today we're going to talk about what happened in history on the 28th and the 29th of January because I failed to upload the 28th live stream. So, and I'm probably going to get some messages during the stream, but I doubt I'm going to ignore them. So, let's begin with, oops. All right, let's go here. I wanted pizza tonight, and oh my god, it was so good. It was Mod Pizza, best pizza in town. Holy. Five, six, seven. There we go. All right, so we're going to start with the 28th because that's the first day. You know, there we go. Ugh. All right, let's start with the 28th. Let's go to features section. There we go. Today in history. And by today, I mean yesterday because oh Lord. In 1980, the low light in history is the Challenger explosion happened in 1986. So 96, 2000, Jesus. It's almost, what, 30 something years? My God. But yeah, that exploded in 1986 on the 28th. Krista McAuliffe was the school teacher that was killed, including all the six other victims along with her. Let's hope there's something happier in the next installment. In AD 814, Pope Charlemagne died in Germany. I'm not going to even bother to pronounce where, but he died in what is present day Germany. Henry VIII. Oh, I'm Henry VIII. I am Henry VIII. I am. I am. I am. The guy that I think tried to kill Anne Boleyn. He died also on this date, but in 1547. He was succeeded by his 9-year-old son, Edward VI. That couldn't have been fun. In 1911, the Hope Diamond was sold by Cartier to Edward and Evan McLean of Washington, D.C. for $180,000. It's probably worth a shit ton more now. In 1915, during World War I, it doesn't say that, but you know it is, the American merchant vessel SS William P. Fry, I can't read, En route to England, the cargo of wheat became the first U.S. ship to be sunk by the Germans. The ship that sunk it was the SS Prince Eidra Friedrich, even though the United States was not at war at the time. That's always a good idea, and I am being sarcastic. In 1916, Louis D. Brandeis was nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court by Woodrow Wilson, President Woodrow Wilson, and Brandeis became the court's first Jewish member, so he made history. In 1939, William Yeats, Irish poet and dramatist, died in France. In 1956, Elvis Presley made his first national debut on a stage show on CBS, hosted by Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey. I'm sure the parents were loving him. In 1973, a ceasefire officially went into effect in the Vietnam War. The day after the signing of the Paris Peace Accords. There we go, another Paris one by the United States, North Vietnam, and South Vietnam. Interesting. In 1977, actor Kimian. What the hell? 1977, Freddie Prinze mortally wounded himself, died a day later after shooting himself at a hotel. At the Beverly Comstock Hotel was where he mortally wounded himself. It doesn't say why, though. 1980, 6 U.S. diplomats who managed to avoid being taken by the Iran hostage situation flew out of Iran with the help of Canadian diplomats. In 1982, Italian forces rescued U.S. Brigadier General James L. Dozier. I'm going to mess this up. Dozier, 42 days after he had been kidnapped by the Red Brigades. We Are the World was recorded in 1985 today. I like the more modern version better, but that old one's good. 10 years ago, chaos engulfed Egypt, where protesters started battling police, burning down the ruling party's headquarters and defying a military curfew. The nation's largest cable TV company. Oh, this is the U.S. Also, 10 years ago, Comcast took control of NBC Universal, which owns Peacock and the WWE Network and pretty much everything else. 5 years ago, oh my God, 5 years ago, Donald Trump had a feud with Fox News, and he did not attend the presidential debate. So everyone else tried to step out of the front runner's shadow, and we all know how that worked out. Uh, dozens of edu- uh, dozens of educators who As we mentioned earlier, Crystal McAuliffe, dozens of educators came together who competed to be the first person to honor her loss 30 years ago. At that time, 30 years ago. Also, 5 years ago, death claimed Paul Kantner, a founding member of the Jefferson Airplane Rock Group, and former Providence, Rhode Island Mayor Buddy Cianci. Both were 74. One year ago, the United States and other nations prepared to airlift citizens out of where? The Chinese city um, uh, that killed the uh, Wuhan. I think it's Wuhan. Offered to lift them out of Wuhan. Also, 1 year ago, what is it? 1 year ago, President Trump unveiled his Middle East plan, which heavily favored Israel. Uh, favored Israel. It called for the eventual creation of a Palestinian state, but would leave sizable space still in Israeli hands. That's Palestinians were not pleased. Trump's lawyers, during the same time, also finished making their case for a speedy acquittal of a Senate impeachment trial. All right, so there's that. Now let's move on to today. So now we're moving on to today. All right, so now we're moving on to today. So today in history, this is the 29th. Um, on January 29th, 1979, uh, Jimmy Carter welcomed Chinese Premier. I'm not going to bother pronouncing it. Following the establishment of diplomatic relations. That's pretty cool. In 1820, King George III died at Windsor Castle. He was 81. He was succeeded by his son, who became King George IV. Huh, look at that. In 1845, Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was first published in the New York Evening Mirror. That's pretty cool. In 1919, the ratification of the 18th Amendment of the Constitution, which made prohibition drinking alcohol illegal, was ratified. Was certified by acting Secretary of State Frank L. Polk. Polk. Can't pronounce. In 1936, the first inductees of baseball's Hall of Fame, including Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth, you know those names, were named in Cooperstown, New York. Congratulations. In 1963, the first, basically the end. Now we move from baseball to football. Football's first people were also inducted and named in Canton, Ohio. Why Canton? I don't know. Also in 1963, Robert Frost died at the age of 80, 88. Excuse me, I can't read. 1966, the musical comedy Sweet Charity opened in on Broadway. Don't know what that is, don't care. 1975, a bomb exploded. Jesus. Bomb exploded in the U.S. State Department in Washington, D.C. Radical group Weather Underground claimed responsibility. It caused damage but didn't injure anyone. In 1984, President Ronald Reagan and Vice President George H.W. Bush would seek re-election in the fall. Awesome. In 1998, a bomb rocked a abortion clinic in Birmingham, Alabama, killing security guard Robert Sanderson and critically injuring nurse Emily Lyons. In parentheses, they add the bomber. Uh, the bomber, Eric Rudolph, was captured in May 2003 and is serving a life sentence. Your run the dishwasher timer is up. All right. So in 2002, President Bush said that terrorists were threatening America. Basically, he made his axis of evil, consisting of North Korea, Iraq, and North Korea, Iran, and Iraq. In 2006, ABC World News, Bob Woodruff and a cameraman were seriously injured in 2006 in a roadside bombing in Iraq. In 2015, Rod McCune, music, verse, and spoken word recordings made him one of the best-selling poets in history. Died at 81. In 2011, 10 years ago, Hosni Mubarak of Egypt named his intelligence chief, Omar Suleiman, as his first ever vice president. It's not really how that works. At least that's not how that should work. Also in 2011, Kim Clijsters won her first Australian Open title and her fourth major tennis title in her career. That's pretty cool. Avant-garde composer Milton Babbitt, 94, died in Princeton, New Jersey. Uh, 5 years ago, 2016, the Obama administration confirmed that Hillary Clinton's home server contained classified government secrets. Job. Closely guarded government. An avalanche in British Columbia left five people riding snowmobiles dead. Two American endurance athletes, also 5 years ago, won the one of Chicago, one of Massachusetts, won the World Marathon Challenge by completing 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. What? Also, 5 years ago, French movie director Jacques Rivette, 87, died in Paris. One year ago, a charter flight evacuating 195 Americans, including diplomats and their families, left the Chinese city of Wuhan, the epicenter of COVID 19, and they would have to go through what, 3 days of testings and monitoring at a California military base. World health officials expressed concern that the virus was starting spread to spread just I can't talk to spread between outside of China. President Donald Trump lawyers asserted that a trade of U.S. military aid for political favors, even if proven, could not be grounds for his impeachment. Trump signed into law the new U.S., Mexico, and Canadian agreement. Apparently, it was a major overhaul. And that wraps this up. I thank you all for watching and have a good day.